Hello, everybody. Aloha. Yeah, hello. We're here. We're a little late getting in. My brain's a little scrambled today, but we are here. Chad is working at the nursery today. I guess you can hear all the children he's playing with there, and it's kind of interesting. Such a nice guy, taking care of all those wonderful children there, all those little snotty nose shits. But I'm glad I'm not there. Is all I can say. Well, I tell you. Have to be a swimming pool very near if I was there. But anyway, yeah, we're here and we're here in the Lost Valley of the Dolls here. It's a beautiful place where we are, I'll tell you. Surrounded by these picturesque mountains and valleys and rivers and lakes and streams and forests and oh man, just unbelievable state parks everywhere. Enough forest to get lost in here for a long time. I'll tell you, it's I've been very curious as to how many strange things are in these forests. I tell you, we went up, took a ride here the other day, and went in there and looked and went as far in as we could, and it just gets dense, man. I went on Google Earth and was looking around in there, and it's just really dense. I was thinking, man, this would be a great place to just disappear, just get away from all this crazy simulation, just escape the matrix and just get into the woods and become tree people. Marion was saying we should become tree people. You know, there's tree people here where we are in the Northwest. They live in the trees and they're very dangerous. Uh, I have been I have been part of the way into this forest where the tree people live, and we didn't go any further because so many people have gone in and never came out. It's a very interesting place. It's been here for a long time. Chad, did you know about that here in the Northwest?
No, like I said, I'm just learning a lot about the Northwest, and it's still just breathtaking and mind blowing what's really going on. You've showed me a lot, and it's still if it like is not in your like mental status, or you've downloaded into your brain, then yeah, I definitely don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very interesting place. It's really beautiful here. There's a lot of places in the United States that are beautiful. I've been to a lot of wonderful places here. But the Northwest is just really beautiful. If it wasn't for Agenda 21, and we'd be fine. But unfortunately, Agenda 21, with its new equity program and its new public-private partnership program coming in, we are the first to be attacked here, along with the East Coast, I guess. Yeah, you could say the East Coast has been attacked fully. Canada has been attacked fully. Now the West Coast, and then of course South Florida, California. Agenda 21 is in full swing. Equity, economics, and loss of private property, loss of freedom, loss of rights, loss of liberty. Agenda 21 is in full swing with the economic decline. The inflation rate is going sky high. We're at 35 trillion on the debt and rising, and the petrodollar is falling. Wages are stifled. Benefits are nil to none, and help wanted signs everywhere throughout the United States. I tell you what, it's just this bizarre situation that I never thought I would see all at one time. This many terrible things happening, this many bizarre, crazy, insane, incomprehensible, really, things happening all at the same time. It's kind of like somebody just ran in and yanked the rug out from under a bunch of people at a party or something, and they all fell on the floor all at one time. That's what I feel like's happening to us. But yeah, it's also interesting that we have these divisions, these classes of people, these different divisions, and this divisiveness is literally destroying the program here. If anyone would say, "Well, could you destroy the program? How would you destroy the program?" Well, you destroy the program through division and through gossip and through slander. And I was looking at a very interesting video. I'm gonna send it to Chad here in a little while. It was a very good video on infiltration, trolls, and gaslighting, stalking, gossip, slander, and programming, and hypnosis, and indoctrination, and propaganda, and the mainstream media and how coordinated they are with the Central Intelligence Agency and all of the other higher intelligence agencies, along with some of these ultra top secret intelligence divisions, and how they are using the human mind, the avatar mind, the persona, the cerebral cortex, the neocortex, to literally reform, transform, reprogram, realign, do this major paradigm shift in the collective consciousness and just kind of turn everybody against each other, which it does take a rocket scientist to see that everybody's against each other. You can just come out here in our neighborhood and walk down the street two houses and you find your enemy right there. Or you go next door and you find your enemy right there. Nobody's really close. Nobody's really tight. Nobody's really trustworthy. Everybody's paranoid. Everybody's distrusting. Most people are uneducated, highly uninformed. Very, very little research do they do. Very, very not well bred, not very well bred at all. Just a really dark bloodline, black bloodline, muddy bloodline. We're talking Neanderthal here. We're talking Cro-Magnon kind of thinking going on with these people. Very unaware, very unconscious, very divisive, very angry, very depressed. All of these things that we would consider psychosis or abnormal psychology, which is what my bag is, sociology, sociopsychology, looking into these things at a very in-depth level and breaking all of these variables and pieces and parts down and calculating the numbers and looking at the numbers, doing the analysis paralysis, and coming out with a very bleak picture of just major division, just a clusterfuck is what we have here. Is just a total clusterfuck. And of course, for Agenda 21 to manifest, for Agenda 21 to come forth, for Agenda 21 to be completed, moving into Agenda 30 and Agenda 50, we're going to have to get this finished. We're going to have to get this house cleaned. We're going to have to clean this house and get rid of all the trash and take it to the dump. And that's what they're doing now. Obviously, for any of you who have your eyes halfway open, you see that that is happening right now. We're going into this starvation period. We've destroyed most of the farmland in the United States has been taken over by the elites. Most of the agricultural businesses have been taken over. Major corporations have been taken over by the elites. Our distribution centers, manufacturing, transportation projects have all been taken over by the elites and the government, public, private partnerships, and NGOs, non-governmental organizations, along with some other nonprofits. Um, Along with the World Bank and the World Monetary Fund, and of course the United Nations Agenda 21, which they're calling sustainable development. I run away if I get in the car and run as fast as you can when you hear that word sustainable development, because what it means is to dehumanize, to depopulate, to genocide. This is the game, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't figured this out yet, the game is to get rid of the population, just erase the population. Let's just starve everybody out. Let's burn everybody out. They're looking at 30,000 tornadoes on the way, 30,000 affecting 70 million people. They're looking at tornadoes coming in and just wiping everybody out. They've already got this in the program. It's in the program. It's already built into the program. They already know what's going to happen. Evidently, HARP and
I'll be right back.
DARPA and all of these other organizations have already programmed this into the main frame, and they're going to come in now and use tornadoes as a tool of destruction. They've used starvation as a tool of destruction. They've used volcanoes as a tool of destruction. They've used tsunamis as a tool of destruction. They've used earthquakes as a tool of destruction. They've used the bioweapon now as a tool of destruction. And they've used the child trafficking as a tool of destruction. They've used the public school system and turned it into the Marxist regime, the communist regime, and programmed the minds of our children, captured the minds of our children into this very dysfunctional system. They've enslaved all of our children. They've disconnected the parents from the children. They've taken away parental rights are gone now. We have a police state. We're living under a police state. We're living in a police state. We're living in a Gestapo state. And when I say state, I mean State of the Union, of course. And we're turning into this geopolitical clusterfuck. And of course, the Biden administration has been caught now with their pants down, which is no big surprise to me. They've been caught embezzling, stealing, taking millions and millions and millions and millions in bribes from China and Russia and North Korea and all of these other countries in trade for state secrets and to disrupt elections and control appointments of individuals moving into the White House there in District of Columbia. So it's a clusterfuck all the way around. It's very strategic, it's very highly planned. And of course, they're doing it because we have a population of mentally retarded people. Now, of course, a lot of people get mad at me when I say this, and I'm sorry, I just have to tell you like it is. We have a population of mentally retarded people. And I'm not the only scholar to say this. I'm not the only uh, getting close to PhD doctorate to say this. I'm not the only major researcher to say this. I'm not the only talk show host to say this by any stretch of the imagination. We're living with retarded people here. I mean, they're all around me. It's totally retarded people, morons, imbeciles. And, you know, I can see where, the New World Order, the deep state, the cabal, whatever you want to call them, this mysterious professor behind the curtain thing going on would want to just destroy this mess and start all over again. I feel like I've kind of walked into a junkyard every time I go to Walmart. I feel like I've walked into the city dump with a bunch of mentally retarded zombies walking around. I mean, it's getting to the point where everywhere you go, you're surrounded by zombies. And people say, "Well, Kyler, why aren't you a zombie? Who do you think you are, motherfucker?" and all that. Well, I know who I am, and I know what I am, and I know where I'm from, and I know what I'm doing, and I understand this situation. I tell you, it takes a very, 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 very highly intelligent individual to be able to see this picture, get a clear picture of what's going on here. It takes a very, and I'm
Absolutely.
talking about just at the 101 level. I'm talking about just the basic 101 peekaboo level. It takes a very, very highly, highly intelligent, well bred, well researched, educated, talented, experienced, highly conscious individual to be able to peer into this, the totality of this clusterfuck, this dysfunction, and see it for what it really is. Now, I'm not saying that we, as a group of elite academians, scientists, intellectuals, totally understand the mechanism behind all of this clusterfuck, but I am saying that we are smart enough to see the big picture and how it's being controlled and how it's being run and how it's being programmed and how it's going to pan out. We can predict the future of this thing by looking at the present. In the now moment, we can predict the other now moments that will come, if you like, behind this and what's going to manifest from this clusterfuck. And we know what the agenda is. We know what the agendas are, and we know who are behind these agendas. And when you break it all down, it's all about just power, money, and control, resources, total dominance over the planet, total dominance over now the moon. We've got a major, major space race to get to the moon for this new element they've found, this hydrogen element that's going to create the new fusion, the new energy for the planet. Now that we have this major space race on, this stuff is running about $30 billion a ton. When they get up there, it's going to be about $30 billion a ton. This stuff, the space race is already on to go get it. I mean, they're going to start mining the moon now, the dark side of the moon. They're going to start mining because they see potential. All of these billionaires and trillionaires and quadzillionaires, they see more potential now. They're going to start mining the asteroids, mining the moon, mining all the different planets within reach. And so it's all about money. It's all about control. And like George Carlin said, they have a really great country club there, and you're not a member. You're not in it, and you're not going to be in it. So you're just a roach. You're just a roach. All of you listening are just roaches. You're roaches. You're rats running around in an endless maze of confusion and idiocracy and insanity, just chasing your tail around and around and around and around and around like a dog out in the yard. Have you ever seen a dog going crazy out in the yard chasing his tail round and around and around and around and around and around and around in a circle? That's what you're doing. That's what all of you are doing. That's what 98.8% of you listening to this show are doing, is chasing your tail around in a circle. You don't know who you are. You don't know where you are. You don't know why you are. You don't know even if you are. You don't know where you're going. You don't know where you've been. You don't know anything.
Well, the sad part
So,
of all that, sorry to interrupt you, but the sad part is people don't even realize they're indoctrinated anymore. Like,
well, that's the plan.
yeah, like I don't think people today even understand what indoctrination is anymore. It's just a word to them. Like I've had people come up and tell me, oh, I broke free of the indoctrination, but yet they'll tell me that we need to elect an official into office, and I'm looking at them like, you broke the indoctrination, but you're saying that voting helps. Like it's just the insanity. This is
Hmm.
that whole wake movement.
Hmm. Woke movement.
My bad, woke movement.
Yeah, yeah. This woke thing is kind of a new age, kind of freaky, silly, fucking word. Woke word. It's kind of silly. These people woke. The woke thing is kind of weird. I keep hearing people throw that word around. Uh, I didn't really understand what they were trying to infer at first when I first started hearing it. I wasn't sure what people had attached to it, you know. And I'm sure you didn't either, Chad. We kind of looking around here, going, "Well, what are they attaching to this? What all are they attaching to this word?" And I still don't know, to tell you the truth. I don't really care. I mean, it's interesting. To me, woke is kind of a liberal leftist. Would you agree that it's a liberal leftist is woke? Uh,
Well, yeah, I mean, a majority of them. And then the sad part is, like the conservatives, they're using the same terminology, and they're not even using it right. The woke culture, in my opinion, is the sleep culture. It's a zombie culture, and it's almost like a reverse psychology is what it's like using on them. Oh, I'm woke. I'm woke. I'm woke. Well, no, you're not. Because we're all walking through a dream world right now, and there's no way you can be awake. And
right.
it just don't make
Well,
sense. And I agree,
uh,
it is the
you,
liberal way.
Marion just informed me, Chad, that Chad, you're gonna fall out of your fucking chair here, Chad. Marion just informed me that Cracker Barrel has now put a rainbow on a rocking chair, and now they're woke. And you and I are talking about it, and the synchronicity happens. Marion just happens to run across this like within 8 seconds of our conversation. All of a sudden, how do you figure what this is happening with you and I like every day? It's almost like I don't understand it. I don't even get it anymore. I know you don't. It's like I don't understand it. I really don't.
No, but all I got to say is to the people that's been watching our videos, stealing our information and then running it as your own and acting like you uncovered it and you did it, you're a piece of shit because we got time stamped of us doing the videos before you. Even though you're a big influencer, you can kiss our fucking ass.
I
Because I
agree.
guarantee you won't. Once we revamp us, you won't get our information from us ever again.
Right. I agree. I agree. And I've had people stealing, and you have too, for years. And I know both of us are just road worn from it. I mean, we've helped people, and I know you've helped people. I've talked to people that you don't even know I've talked to, that you've helped and helped and helped and helped and helped and helped and helped. And where are they? Where are these motherfuckers? Where in the fuck are they? I don't
I
see
don't
them.
know. I don't see them.
I don't see them. And you know how many stations we've opened for people, and you know how many people we've went to bat for, and you know how many secrets we've given out, and you know how many things we've done for people. Where are they? Where are they? They're not here. Hello, we need help. Uh, people don't care. Like Marion said today,
How you doing,
you
brother?
know, yeah, people just don't care anymore, and they've turned that switch off. They have to. It's not really their fault. Look, I said it in the car with you today. It's not really their fault. they've just gotten caught up in this thing, and it's just swept them off their feet, and they don't know where they're at now. They're like in some la la land, and they don't know. Whoa, what's going on here? I'll just follow the fad and follow the yellow brick road, and I'll just follow the masters and follow the order givers and just consent and do contracts and give up my security and give up my liberty and give up my freedom and give up my freedom of speech and give up my whatever, whatever, as long as I get my bread and my beans, my steak, my video games, my hairdo at the hair parlor and the stylist and my nail thing, and as long as I can do whatever, I'll just go along with whatever. Just whatever shot you give me, whatever shot you want to give my kids. Doesn't matter what you're teaching my kids in school. I don't really have time to worry about it. I don't really care.
It's sad too, because like we do it all the time. We'll set at the store and we literally analyze every single, like, people listen. We go to stores and we're sitting in the car. We're analyzing the people. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but we're analyzing every single people, from how they walk to how they're interacting with whoever they're with, how they're interacting with a homeless person around them, what kind of foods that they have in their shopping carts, what kind of things that they're buying. We watched a girl today, every bit of 20, had to be at least 20 cases of Mountain Dew, just taking the car. Nothing else, people. 20
That was weird.
cases.
That was weird.
Like, and she's wearing all mask and she's all masked up and she's part of the woke culture. You can see she's part of the woke culture, and it's like, no, wait. You're part of the woke culture, but you're drinking one of the most toxic sodas on the market in bulk. Like, just makes no sense.
That's like building a house, and every time you hit the hammer on the 4x8 on the roof, you hit your knee with it. Oh, hit my knee, break that knee. Let me hit the hammer, hit the knee, hit the hammer, hit the knee, build a house.
I know, right?
It's like
It's
an oxymoron.
counterproductive.
An
It's
oxymoron,
counterproductive for the movement for them.
counterproductive. It's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Yeah. And now we've found out now that we've got this Biden thing. I wanted to bring this Biden thing up again because it's so big. It's such breaking news with the Trump's been. They've got all these indictments laid out for Trump now, and they've got they've proven Comey and all those guys were lying. The FBI was lying. The Department of Justice was lying about Trump. They've proven the Russiagate scandal was bullshit, and now they're going after him for something else. We don't even know. They haven't even opened the new indictments up yet. Now, all of a sudden, this happens 3 days, by the way, 3 days after the sealed indictments were opened on the whistleblower on Biden. So Biden got pissed off and just made his call and said, okay, you guys go ahead and pick Trump up. This is really just dirty pool. This is stupid. This is silly business. You know, Biden knows he's been caught. He knows his family's all been caught. They've been caught with all these felonies. They've been caught with treason. They've been caught with giving secrets away of the country. They've been caught with all these murders and all these assassins and all this other bullshit, double dealings, backdoor deals, illegality. I mean, corruption to the fucking roof. And is anybody going to be indicted? I don't. I doubt it very seriously. I honestly doubt it very seriously. And here we are going after Trump. Here we are. We got to find a scapegoat. We got to find a scapegoat. We got to find another diversion. So they're using Trump again for the second time as a diversion. And they found so many felonies on Biden and Hunter Biden and Hillary and Bill and all the rest of that bunch over there. What about 10,000 felonies? We could probably say.
And that's being light about it. That's the
And and
sad part.
and they're not. And America's just sitting around watching TV tonight. I don't
I
look. I
don't
don't under,
know.
I don't
Well, what's
understand
on
it.
Dancing with the Stars tonight?
I really don't
Oh,
understand it. I honestly don't understand. I really don't. I mean, me no comprehendo. Me no speak
yeah.
a dum dum. Me no speak a dum dum.
It's insanity. Like, I there's people to come in here to, like, man, I can't wait to get home and watch this episode and watch that episode. I hear it here at work, and I'm looking, I'm like, you have a baby in your arms and you're worried about what's coming on TV. Like,
Yeah,
where are your priorities at? Like,
yeah. You're you have a baby. You have an infant in your arms walking through a sea of toxic poison and slush and toxicity and poison that is beyond the imagination in the matrix in this clusterfuck, and you're wanting to go home and watch TV. What? How does that even make sense? Oh, you didn't know. I'm sorry. You didn't know there was anything going on. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm not sorry. I'll be the one to say it. I'm not sorry that you let yourself get dumbed down. You know, and we was talking about it earlier. You know, like it's hard to fathom how this psyops has got like 98% of the population in its grasp.
Yeah.
You know,
Here in
and
the United States, we'll just talk about let's talk
yeah,
about the U.S. Okay.
just the U.S.
Yeah.
Probably 98% of the people. You have people that believe in the left, people that believe in the right. People in the left believe in this kind of religion. People on the right believe in this kind of religion. But it's the same thing. Religion creates, submissiveness. Because religion tells you turn the other cheek. Don't, thou shalt not judge. Thou shalt not do this. Thou shalt not do that. Don't cause harm to nobody. Just let everything happen. It's in God's hands. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, if people don't understand that these books are creating true meek individuals and creating the slave race just through religion alone, then they're blind. There's a reason why these books call them sheeps. Even their own books that they believe in call them sheeps. And that's the part that I don't understand. You call me a sheep, I take offense to that. I take a lot of offense if you call me a sheep because sheep are stupid, and I'm far from it, and I'm not submissive. But these people are proud to be called a sheep, because somebody's going to come save them. And this is what religion's done. They've made it to where somebody's going to come save you. You ain't got to do nothing. It's all God's will. It's all part of his plan. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He's going to do this. You just sit there and you hit your knees and you just take it. And that's where we're at when it comes to the religion aspect. Everything religion tells you, we've went against it. Religion tells us not to be a part of the government. Everybody loves the government. Religion tells us, not to hurt anybody, but yet we're hurting everybody on a day-to-day basis. Religion tells you to be compassionate. Everybody's turned off the compassion switch. And it's what we're seeing is they've literally read these words, but they've been manipulated to not even pay attention to these words. I mean,
Well, these so-called higher-minded elite Christian do-gooders have killed more people in our known history than all of the dictators in the world that have existed that we know of.
well, people got to realize every single person that died in every single war, right? Since civilization, since the beginning of any kind of religion, every single person that died in any kind of conflict has died because of religion. And people don't understand that. Everything's a holy war. Every war that we have that's ever graced this earth has been a holy war, people. Religion's the only thing that's ever brought in war.
People need to kind of understand how broad that term religion is in order to they might get you stuck on Christianity. You're not talking about just Christianity. You're talking about the Islam, the hardline bonsai pilots of Japan. You're talking about the hardliners in Red China. You're talking about the hardliners in Antifa. You're talking about the hardliners in Black Lives Matter. That's a religion. You're talking about the skinheads, the neo Nazis. You're talking about MS-13. That's a cultish religion. You're talking about so I wanted people to know the broad scope you're painting, the broad picture you're painting. You're not just picking
No.
on Christians here.
Yep. The easiest way to explain it, there are over 330 million gods wrote about as religious texts. Every single one of those gods that they have wrote about has been here to divide each and every one of us. Every single book that they've created for all these religions has been created to divide us. Not a single religion ever written in history talks about the unity of everybody. It's
Now,
all divide.
I'd like to add a scholarly point to this. In Buddhism, we have never considered Buddhism a religion, nor has Buddhism considered itself a religion, nor has Buddhism been analyzed as a religion by some of the greatest scholars in the world. Buddhism is more of a philosophy, a way of life, and Buddhism is one of the few, along with Hinduism, that is a softer, we'll call it a softer belief system. And it's a belief system if you have the, I have have the magic book here, the Lotus Sutra. And if you look through this book, you'll find out that Buddhism is probably your best bet if you wanted to really live a peaceful, calm, highly comprehensive, higher consciousness, higher awareness, thinking about thinking, healing, synchronicity, balance in your life. Buddhism is it. Buddhism is it. I'm telling you, because I'm a Buddhist. I was a bodhisattva, and of course I'm a Buddhist. But you know, this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Buddhism. Um, Hinduism is a little more cloaked in culture, and you've really got to. You just can't walk in and be a Hindu. You know, like you just can't really walk in and be a Muslim, although they do want you to convert to Allah and all this other kind of stuff. Buddhism doesn't ask you to convert to anything. Buddhism doesn't request or require or suggest that you convert to anything anywhere. Buddhism just teaches the way, to walk in peace and light and harmony and balance and love and synchronicity and forgiveness. And it teaches you a really uh, wonderful way of life, very healing, a very peaceful, balanced way of life. And along with meditation and proper thinking and proper nutrition, um, and walking down that pathway, it's a wonderful thing. And so I would suggest, with all of the things I just said and all of the benefits that are included, I'm going to take Chad to. This is Buddhist. We're in Buddhist country here. Chad has not even seen anything yet. We're in Buddhist country. I'm going to take Chad. I'm not going to tell anybody on the air what Chad's going to love over there, but I'm not going to say it on the air. But anyway, I'm going to take Chad to a few Gohanzen. I'm going to let him sit at the Gohanzen soon and chant and Nemio Horingyo, Nemio Horingyo, Nemio Horingyo, Nemio Horingyo. Chad will love the Gohanzen. He'll love the people. They're such a diverse group of people. They're so loving and so kind. And now Chad's a former cage fighter, could probably still hold his own, and they love to wrestle. Now Buddhists love to wrestle. They'll just grab you right in the living room and flip you down. But I don't know what it is about Buddhists, but they love to wrestle. I don't know what it is. I had no idea where it came from, but they'll just wrestle with you. They'll throw you down the front yard.
That's
I mean,
my
I
kind
tell
of
you,
people.
it's really wicked, man. You think these are, peace loving, oh, oh, ho, ho, hum, ha, ho. No, they'll throw you off the balcony. They just they like to wrestle. It's just wrestling.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
I
I
know,
like to throw people around as well.
I know. It's pretty cool though, and great food 7 nights a week. If you're, I don't want to say this, but well, I'm going to say it. Yeah, and then we'll have to throw some people out of our parties. But homeless people, they've caught on to the secret. There's a party 7 nights a week here, and I haven't even talked to Chad about this yet. But there's a party here 7 nights a week, and there's always a party somewhere 7 nights a week, and there's the greatest food in the world there, and the greatest. I'll go ahead and say it. The greatest pot in the world. There's no better pot in the world. And there's the greatest entertainment. Somebody's always on the back porch playing some Dan McLean or whatever. Something beautiful. Bye bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, and the levee was dry. It's always something beautiful going on, and food and doctorates and doctorate and poet laureates and holistic doctors and naturopaths and philosophers and writers and authors and I mean, just anybody you want to meet's there. Rocket scientists, it's just neurosurgeons. It's a beautiful group of people. Once I get Chad over there, I may not even be able to retrieve him. I may have to put an extraction team together to go get his
Better
ass
bring the
out of there.
command unit.
Yeah, and so we'll do that, and that'll be interesting. That's our next big outing. But yeah, Buddhism, folks, is great. And so, Kim, I hear you there. Your mom was Buddhist, and I had a Hindu girlfriend, and they're beautiful. Yeah, they're beautiful people too. And Hinduism, Buddhism, beautiful too. Beautiful walks of life. I call them walks of life. And the Lotus Sutra is a little complex, a little hard to read, but people can get through it. Along with the book of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, I would highly recommend the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and I would highly recommend the Bhagavad Gita. I would highly recommend the Bhagavad Gita. If you haven't read that, then you need to read it. And I would recommend the Book of Enoch, and I would recommend the Kabbalah, and I would. That's about all I would recommend right now, except I would read George Orwell's 1984 if you haven't read it, and I would read the 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto, which you can pull up on the internet, and you can see. We've already covered all 10 of these. We're in trouble. every one of them has been completed, so it's really
Danger, Will
scary.
Robinson, danger.
Yeah, it's a really scary thing, man. It's really scary when you look at this George Orwell. We've completed all of that and his predictions. And then, I was listening to one of an interview with George Orwell the other night, and it was just, it was really like this guy was so far ahead of his time, Chad. It was unbelievable. He knew everything that was going to happen. And what I told you a while ago, we're not soothsayers. You don't have to be a soothsayer here. You don't have to be a prophet. You just look at everything from a socio-psychological, psychodemographic stratification analysis, and you take all the parts and pieces and variables, and you look at them, and you put them together in a little puzzle, and you take a look at them, and you step back, and you can see what's going to happen tomorrow and the next day by what's happening today and what happened yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before and the day before, going all the way back to the 1500s. You can take all of that, and then you can come up to the 1900s and then 2000s, and then you can project out to 2040, 2050. It's really not that hard, but you have to work. You have to read, you have to study, you have to research, and most people don't. They don't want to do that. And so this is why people listen to talk shows like this, is because we do it for you.
Yeah,
Especially,
if you want us to be the narrators, we'll be narrators. I mean,
you know,
that's one thing we're good at,
you know,
is letting people know.
I've read 3,600 nonfiction books, and
I'm
so
maybe on it at like 1,000.
and I have about a I would say a 76% retention rate. I have a photostatic memory, and I also have instant recall to a lot of different components and parts of these things. And then I have vivid dreams, which I have downloads also. So that helps to have downloads. Plus, I channel. So I have all these talents. You can get all of these things too. This is not exclusive to me or a certain elite group of people. This is available to you also, but you have to dive in the water and you have to study and research and meditate, and you have to really open your eyes to what's really going on. And Chad and I have already covered this, and cognitive, you have to get rid of the cognitive dissonance, and you have to get rid of the belief systems that Chad's always banging on, and you have to get rid of the hate and the judgment and the labeling and pointing fingers at people and the whispering and the gossip. And you know you know there's always an infiltrator. Like even with Chad and I was, well, I don't want to talk about that, but Chad's been tested to the limit. He's always being tested, and he gets a little hot sometimes under the collar, but it's just going to keep going, and he's going to have to either like it or fucking lump it, hit the road or something. But I test people. I'm really, when I was in Tibet and I had that year of silence, and then I got in and I stayed one more year and a half. I was like, I was tested and 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 tested. And there were days when I wanted to kill my Zen master. I wanted to, I had dreams of going in at night and stabbing him with a sword. But I learned discipline, and I learned that no matter what kind of artillery is coming at you, you can completely detach yourself from it. And this is what I'm putting poor Chad through now. He's going through. Chad's a martial artist. Chad's already a martial artist. And I'm a martial artist. I'm just teaching Chad a new form, a little higher form, a little different form, and he's taking it perfect. As I complimented him yesterday, we had a moment, and I had a download. I had a feeling. I had to talk to him. I had to say something. It was not good. It was nasty. It was hard. It was rough. But he took it, and first he reacted like I did when I was in, under the gun, and then he came back and he looked and he reevaluated, he recentered, he realigned, and he went, "This is not happening. This is not happening. What the fuck am I mad about? This he's testing me. This is a fucking test." But it's a hard test. It's an evil motherfucking diabolical piece of shit. Dang, you did, got it. But he took
Yeah.
it perfectly. He took it perfectly. Perfectly. A score. A score. But you know what it takes to do that? What he did? Most of you, I'd say 95% of you couldn't handle it. You'd have went home, you got your gun, you'd have came back and you would have shot me out of my chair, or you would have beat me up or tried to beat me up. Don't want to get into that. But, you would have never talked to me again. Now, Chad and I, here we are back on the same road doing the same thing we're always doing. And
I
Chad
even
said
hugged
this
his neck and
before.
everything and kissed
Yeah.
him on the cheek and told him I love you like my brother.
No,
Like
he
I said, this
Frenched.
my brother.
No, he lies. He Frenched me. Yeah, he lied. He lies. But it is hard. It is hard. It is hard. We're tested all the time in life. We're tested everywhere we go. Chad and I are tested together when we go out. Him and I'll be tested. People test us. They test us all the time. We'll be sitting at Walmart. And people say, "What the fuck you doing sitting there in the fire lane? What are you, special ops? Strategic plan." You're always testing us. People are everywhere you go. His friend, Chad's friend, was telling us that she went somewhere and there was somebody beating somebody up. I mean, this is happening everywhere. People are going crazy. They're beating the hell out of each other. They're killing each other.
Listen, it's sad because how it's described and what happened is two guys jumped a girl and everybody walking past and just letting it happen. So that should tell everybody where society is today, to where two men can beat on a woman and not a single man will stand there and help out the woman, regardless if she did something wrong. Two men should never beat up on a woman. I'm sorry.
No, never. You could restrain her. You could hold her down until the police got there or whatever, but never hit her, never bruise her, never cut her, never shoot her, never. There's no reason for that, unless she's trying to shoot you and she's about to pull a trigger. Yeah, kill that bitch.
But no,
There are
it's just
some movies
scary.
like that. Yeah, it's scary. It's really scary. It reminds me of that movie you mentioned, Purge. The Purge. This whole thing kind of reminds me of that in a very lighthearted kind of way. Like it's sort of going on a little bit of it every day instead of once a year. It's like a little bit of it seeping out every day.
Well, if you actually watch The Purge, this is how it built up. It built up the same way it is now. The economy started going bad. There was war everywhere. Violence like quadrupled, and then a president come in during all this crisis and created the purge, and then everybody was good for 364 days out of the year because they knew that one day that anything was allowed. So any transgressions that were done to them, they would just go eliminate them, and that's what we're seeing now. What we're seeing that they're allowing violence here and there because people, and this is, we've had this talk before with multiple people, you have and I have, that they say murder can be good and bad at the same time, which it can't be because it's neither or. Murder isn't
Right.
good, murder isn't
It's a
bad.
well, and from a physics standpoint, and from an esoteric standpoint, and from an ontological standpoint, it's an act. It's an activity within the matrix. It's just an activity within the matrix. It's another um, component of consciousness expressing itself. It's just another manifestation. That's all it is. Another manifestation, another type of manifestation. You have a red apple, you have a orange, you have a avocado. It's just that's all it is. Yeah. Now I know that's hard for people to grasp. I know that's really, 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 really hard for people to grasp, and they don't like to hear it. They don't like to hear it because when we say that, that means that all of these crimes are just another activity, and that's what people get pissed. They can't grasp that. They can't. They want to take it most of the way, but they can't take it all the way. And if you can't take it all the way, then you can't ever understand. Chad looks a lot, and he used be what, Kim? Looks a lot, and he used be. Okay.
I used to be in the trenches. I used to be that so-called society scum of the earth, as you know what I mean. I did. Um, But the thing is, if the judgment of me, piece of shit, scum of society, look at me now. So you see what I'm saying?
It
People
was just
hold and keep actions on people,
it was just another
it's
perception.
ridiculous. Yes.
It was just another thing. It was something you were manifesting on your journey
Yep.
through the energy field. It was just a different form, a different perception. People perceived it in different ways. Some people would have perceived what you were doing heroic in prison. Some people would have perceived what you were doing as perverted. Some people would have perceived it as dysfunctional or ignorant or stupid or crazy. Or there's 100,000 words I could use. So everybody has a different perception of everything. You know what I mean? Somebody that would have been down your road a lot and had gone down what you'd been drugged down the same road you'd been drugged down, they would have understood you 100% and hugged your neck and loved you through it and forgave you through it and brought you out of it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. See, that's
Mm.
one of the major problems in society today is nobody's forgiving.
It's a big problem that people have because they think they're better than everybody else, or they think they're smarter than everybody else, or they think they're prettier than the next girl, or more handsome than the next guy, or oh, my shoes are more shiny than yours, or my dress costs $1,200 and your little bitch dress costs $4 at Goodwill. It's all about division, 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 division. It's all about I'm better than you are, they're better than we are, and they're more powerful than they are, and it's all insanity. That's just insanity. That's what's got the world so fucked up right now. But you cannot get rid of these stamps on people. They're just hard stamped. They're just hard stamped. You can't get rid of it. It's virtually impossible to reshift and reorganize and realign that way of thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it takes true devotion just to even try to comprehend it, to even make a change for it. It's full dedication, and some people can't even get it ever. I can say I'm lucky. I get it. I get it. But I bumped my head. I couldn't tell you how many times.
I mean, look at Mike Tyson. Look at how much he's changed over the last 15 years. He's come from a complete idiot, imbecile, imbecilic, moron, dangerous, violent, angry, perverted, dysfunctional freak of a complete destroyer. All of a sudden now he's becoming intellectual, analytical, philosophical, and that's hard to. He's one of the very few. I mean, he was hardcore crazy. This guy, and look at how he's changed. If you listen to his interviews now, he used to just get up and beat the shit out of reporters, but he's learned to calm himself down. See, people can learn to restrain themselves. The purge. It's going toward the purge. Yeah, it's going toward the purge. All right, Kim. But not in the same exact way that it was on television or in the movies. It's going toward a different type of purge. Look at Agenda 21. Here I want to show you something. I've got this interesting book here that I. What does that say? That's Agenda 21. You see all those areas? Those are areas where all the people are going to be taken out of, and those are going to be human free areas. I want you to look at how many of them there are. It's already been designated, it's already been done, it's already been finished. Their humans will not have any place to go anymore. And that's what they're doing. They're moving everybody into the smart cities. They're moving everybody out of the country, the off gridders. They're moving everybody. They're forcing everybody off their land and into the cities, into the cities, into the cities. They want to be able to completely see and control everything that you do. They don't want you out anywhere. They're not going to allow any of these children like us. We're all children. They're not going to allow us to be out anywhere by ourselves. They're not going to allow us to think for ourselves or have our own ideas or our own philosophies or our own belief systems or our own religion or our own money or our anything. Nothing. Nothing. This is where we're going. This is where we're going. I know some of y'all saying that's impossible. That's impossible. It's all right here. It's all been done. It's finished. I've got all the data right here. It's all been done. It's finished. They're rounding everybody up right now. They're rounding everybody up right now, and they're bringing them in. And we're getting ready for this second wave of pandemic, third wave of pandemic, fourth wave of pandemic, lockdowns, quarantines. I know y'all don't want to hear this because I don't want to hear it. It drives me nuts. I want to shoot myself. I literally do. I just want to shoot myself. But I have Mary and Chad and people that love me, and I mean, who wants to go through this? Who in the fuck? I was asking Mary a couple of days ago. I said, we have doctor assisted suicide here, and we have doctor assisted suicide in Canada, right? Well, in Canada, it's much easier. It takes about 12, 14 days, and you're dead. I'm depressed, doc. Okay, well, signing right here. But here, it takes 6 months, right? So we're in Kevorkian country here. We live in Kevorkian country, right? I
Yeah,
love
and
Doctor.
people might say it's crazy, but I love that man.
Oh, I love Doctor Kevorkian. Was great, but we live in Kevorkian country here. It takes 6 months still to off yourself, get your doctor to off you. But I was asking her, and I'm going to ask you, Chad, tonight. Do you think that it would be logical to go into your doctor and take a stack of documents and reports of what's going on in the world and just show it to him? All the most horrible things you could possibly imagine in the universe that are going on, and say, I can't take it anymore. I want to go ahead and sign the doctor assisted suicide contract and get out of here. Would that
Uh,
be, what would he, would that work? Or,
I mean, I think it should, depending on the doctor. They might try to put you in a psyche eval, of course, medical kidnapping. But honestly, any real doctor that would actually read this information would probably be wanting to stick a needle in his neck as well after you read the documentation.
yeah,
And I'm just being real. Like, if I was in that situation, I believe in suicide. I believe if you want to die, you should be allowed to die. I don't think anybody should be allowed to stop you from doing what you want to do like that. If you want to kill yourself, that's on you. Nobody should be allowed to stop that. But these people anymore, they don't want you to die because they can't extort you anymore. And these doctors don't want that because when they see you wanting to die, oh no, there goes my paycheck. You know. But a normal doctor, like your doctor, I'm not going to say names, your doctor that you talk to, I think she'd be for that with knowing what she knows about you and everything.
yeah, she's wonderful. She's wonderful. Yeah, it's amazing. But like I said, I don't want to go. I mean, I do want to go. I do want to go. But
Give me 1 second.
yeah, yeah, take your time. It kind of pisses me off that I have these loved ones around that I have to stay with. I love them so much, and I'm not going to leave them. I can't leave them in this shit alone. I can't leave them here because I am a protector. I am a protector. I can still fight. I can still think. I can still plan. I can still, form these strategic plans to come through certain things and get away from certain things and avoid certain situations. So I'm not going to leave. They don't have these skills. They don't have these skills that I do. And so I have to stay and I have to help them avoid the mandates and all of the lockdowns and the coming, uh, you know, all the hell that's coming down on us. I've got to try to help them avoid all of that. So I have to stay here. And so, yeah, Chad, this girl's in love with you, Kim. Chad has always been amazing, and Chad's this, and Chad's smart, and Chad's wonderful. What the fuck am I, old garbage? You can take the fucking garbage out or what? What am I? Do I need to just let me blank my picture out. Wait a minute. Fuck this shit.
Come on now. Now, Kim's known me for a while. I can say that.
I can
Kim's
block you,
followed me through
Kim.
a lot.
Kim, I control the board here, Kim. I could just go. Let me see. What does it say here?
Hey, now
Block,
you can't block our future admin.
block user. Oh, forever. No, I wouldn't do that to you, Kim. No, I wouldn't do that to you. No.
We like you way too much, Kim.
Yeah, we love you, Kim. We love you, Kim. I was just kidding. I would like a compliment every now and then, Kim. Though I really would. And when you see me in my picture in my underwear, you'll change your mind. I'm gonna have Marion send you a picture of my speedo. I have you sent that picture of those on Instagram there, and it was pretty cool. Chad saw it actually. Yeah, you can't put
Yeah.
it on here, But oh my God, Marianne's trying to put it on here now. Oh Lord, here we go. That's my Playboy. That's my Playgirl picture. My Playgirl. Is it Playboy or Playgirl? No, it's Playgirl. Yeah,
It'll be Playgirl.
yeah, Playgirl. But she caught me in a bad time. Really, I was just laying on the couch and I happened to put my arm up like this, and I was in my pink underwear. Why did I say pink? Damn, telling off on myself. Blue underwear. And she happened to snap a picture, and then she has it on Instagram in like 10 minutes. And I'm like, what in the hell did you just do?
Listen, if y'all watched Talladega Nights, that's Mike Honcho.
Yeah. Yeah. Kim, you were a heroin addict. That's amazing. That is amazing. I'm proud of you for not touching it for 29 years. That's hard. That's really amazing.
Listen, I forgive you. Trust me, I'm an ex-heroin addict myself. There's parts of my family that don't forgive me,
Well,
for being like that. But
I don't forgive either one of you. I don't forgive either one of you because I never condemn you in the first place. So I have no right to forgive you. So you can
touche,
save the forgiveness for those who condemn.
touche.
Touche.
Yeah, I
I
can say that
never.
once you people get to actually know Kiler, if you don't think I'm judgmental, Kyler's way more humble when it comes to judgmental shit than I am. There's still some things that I'm judgmental on. Kyler's not. Kiler is so unjudgmental. It's unreal, people. It's actually to a point where it's disgusting for people that don't understand about not judging. Like he disgusts them because he doesn't label, because he knows that, what somebody does isn't who they are as a person.
Well, I also believe in that old saying, "For the grace of God go I." I mean, it could be me. Anybody that I'm pointing my finger at for something, it could just as well be me. And so
Be
why?
any of
Who am I?
us.
Who am I? Who am I to be a judge? Who am I to condemn anybody?
I mean,
For
everybody's
anything
had
like that.
outbursts of anger and rage to where they wanted to kill somebody. They've even said it out loud, come across their mind. See, the only difference, people, is that there are people that follow through with their thoughts. The only
Yeah.
reason why you haven't did it is because you didn't follow through with your thoughts. That's
Well,
all it is, because of a moral base.
when I was in South America, I followed through a couple of times.
Hey, look, there you go. Look, you're getting props. Hey, my sexy neighbor. That ain't
but
me
I
she's talking to.
but I had to do that, so it was part of my mission. But yeah, I don't condemn anyone because I say, "For the grace of God go I." It's I never label people or condemn people or talk about people or gossip about people unless we're just doing it in fun. I love to. Every now and then we'll talk about somebody in fun. I told Rhonda, that it's fun. It's fun to gossip sometimes. It's healthy, but you do it in a cute kind of way. You're not really doing it to harm someone or to ruin their reputation, or you're not going to go burn them out of the neighborhood, or it's a cute thing. Well, y'all gossip about me all the time, you chicken fucking shits, you and Rhonda. But
Yeah.
that's okay. Gossip is good. I mean, Marion and I, we never gossip about y'all, but that's okay. Y'all are coming along good, and there'll be one day when you want what gossip is heavy about me and me especially. It's not Mary. There's nothing you could really gossip about her, but there's plenty on me. I've got a whole stack of shit y'all could get me on. Wait a minute, this screen isn't wide enough. Wait a minute. Wait, there you go. Oh, it's too heavy.
Listen, people, we need same with me. Like, there's a lot you can judge me on, but what we're talking about is there's a forklift that would have to lift, the judgmental things that people could bring at us in the gossip.
Yeah,
Tons of it, and
yeah,
we're fine with it.
yeah.
A lot of people can't handle anybody talking about them,
Sticks.
and a lot of it is
Yeah,
culture. Like, when we get into the culture, it's culture that forms your judgment on things. It's culture. Okay, that's all what it boils down to, people. Culture is what shapes morals and morale. Culture does. That's it. And when you're in a culture, just like overseas, in the Philippines, I do know it's a delicacy to eat rats. Here in the United States, We shun that. Oh my God, a rat. Oh no, we can't eat that. It's this, it's that. But it's culture. We shun them for eating that kind of stuff. We shun them for that. Like there's people here in the United States that will shun people. Like when I tell people I love horse meat, they look at me like I'm the most sick, sadistic son of a bitch they've ever met. Like you would eat a horse? Like hell yeah, that shit's
You've
good.
heard they have an old saying here. I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. And I was telling you in Southeast Asia, you go down the markets. It's like in Bangladesh. And Bangladesh is kind of the same way. We can talk about Southeast Asia. We can talk about Bangladesh. Every other 200 yards, 150 yards, there's a different cultural type. There's a different caste, family caste. There's a different type of food. But Southeast Asia is the best to talk about because they have roaches this big. They eat and they're hanging up. They're frozen or they're either just raw or they're still alive and you can eat them. Or scorpions with tails, this long, and they're still stinging and you just eating them and bite the tail off and chew it up. And I've seen the old women just biting those scorpions, and I've seen them on the skew, scorpions on a skew. And then I've seen a couple old women eating big old red leg tarantulas, high
They're
tarantulas
eating a
still
live
crawling
shrimp,
around.
the
And
micro shrimps.
well, shrimp's nothing, man. We're talking scorpions and spiders and roaches, and we're
Well, I'm
talking
saying they're still
maggots.
alive.
Maggots. We're
Oh yeah.
talking monkey. I've eaten monkey brains when I was in Nevermind. But I mean, everything's edible on the planet unless it's poison, like the blowfish. You're part of the blowfish. You have to know how to cook it. But everything's edible, folks. And I've eaten stump larvae. I've had to eat in the jungles when I had my survival training, and I taught a survival training. I had to eat stump larvae. I ate crickets, grasshoppers. I ate all kinds of things. I've eaten a couple of June bugs. I've eaten earthworms. Pretty good. Uh, you know, in your armpit yet. Oh, yeah, babe. Did you ever find that, babe?
Hey, Kyler, just look at her and do this.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And say it's a shadow. That's all you got to tell her, and she'll
It's a
laugh her
shadow.
ass off. So
Oh, well,
here's
it
what
is a
happened.
shadow.
I'll
Oh,
give you.
was
I'll give you
doing
a hint.
this. I was
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's almost like that. Okay, the pump. But what it was is last night we were talking, and there was a shadow that was casted on me, and she thought it was a spider. She's freaking out, and I'm looking like, where? All calm, and we got black widows and everything else where we're at. I'm sitting there just looking like, where? And she goes, it's running up into your armpit. And I slowly shook it out like that. And I seen the shadow when I was doing it, a black dot moving back and forth. And that's what it was. It was a shadow
oh,
that when
wow. Man, it's amazing. I
but
actually
see,
told you about that black widow that was on my chair and it jumped on my shoulder and then it jumped on my hand and then I tried to get it and Marion was looking at it and I finally got it on my hand. Rhonda would have freaked out if she'd have seen that black widow crawling on my finger. I love black widows. It could have killed me right out there in the porch here, but I love it. I love to live in that kind of danger, man. Oh, don't judge me. I'll go jump in the fucking lake, Rhonda. No, I'm kidding. Did I say that? Is my microphone on? I thought it was muted. Oh my God, Rhonda's going to come over here and slap me in a minute. Um, but yeah, uh, Rhonda, Rhonda, help it, Rhonda. Oh, baby. You know, whatever. No, Kim, you're not in love with him. You're in love with me. What the fuck? How could you not be? Look at me. I'm beautiful. I'm so beautiful. I make myself cry.
listen, people, when I hit 66, I'm going to look just like him. So you're looking at me in the future. So if you find me sexy now, you're going to find me dead sexy when I get older.
Wise men say only
Only
fools
fools
love
fall in
love.
love as I had time of my life.
Yeah, I tell you, man, something else. 7:06 p.m. on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. 6/12/2023, Lone Wolf Radio, Destiny Global Communications Network, and it is Lone Wolf Radio with the Screaming Crow, Lone Wolf, and Alternative Public Radio International, streaming around the world on a lot of different platforms, and getting ready if we can ever figure out which other platform we're going to go with. We
Plywood.
will expand a little bit, yeah, plywood. And but everything's fine. Everything is going fairly well. we're just trying to get through all of this insanity like you all are, and trying to get through all of the mass confusion that they're throwing on all of us right now. And this is for a purpose, very well scripted, to keep everybody in mass confusion, mass hysteria. Mass hysteria is the key right now. They're wanting everyone to be in mass hysteria. They're wanting everyone to be in mass divisive mode. They're wanting everyone to hate everyone else. And like Chad said earlier, they want religion to hate religion, and homosexual to hate straight, and they want this to hate that, and that to hate this, and them to hate them. And it's a hate thing, man. They got everybody right where they want them. They got us
Yeah.
all right where they want us, man. You know, and that's
Yeah.
exactly how they're winning. See, that's how they're winning. See, if we can all come together and agree on one thing, that we're losing our freedom, you fucking idiots. If we
See
could
that.
just agree on that one fucking thing, if we don't come together, I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to like the way you fucking look. I don't have to like your religion. I don't have to like your fucking girlfriend or your boyfriend. I don't have to like the way your fucking house looks. We're losing our freedom. Oh, let's get together then. What can we do about this? That's all you need to know. We're losing our freedom. And let me tell you something, folks. When your freedom is gone, you're fucked. And it's not completely gone yet. We still have a chance. But when your freedom is gone, you're fucked. And that hammer is coming down, baby. It's coming down. And some of you little fucking people like to buck like a mule, and Rhonda's one of them. She's a stubborn motherfucker. And let me tell you, when that hammer comes down, you ain't going to be able to buck no more. You ain't
Not
going
at
to be able
all.
to buck no more.
See, now, as Kyler said, we all just need to get along. Um, it's the biggest misconception that's being thrown out there, and I hear a lot of like so-called, truthers or whatever you want to call them anymore. They're like, money is the root of all evil. Are you insane? Money is just a tool. The root of all evil is hate. You hating people, you hating this, you hating that. That is the root of all evil. Hate is the purest form of evil that there is, if you want to call it evil. Hate is what takes us from everything. Like, I could, like, prime example, Kyler could know something that I don't know that is very detrimental to my life. But if I hate Kyler, then I'm never going to know what could have saved my life. Do you see how that works, people? Because we're not talking anymore. We're not communicating anymore. There's information that we have that could save people's lives. But there are people that hate us just because we're real with it. Just because we don't lie about it. We don't sugarcoat stuff, because you shouldn't sugarcoat anything to anybody, because that's just causing more drama than what should be there. But if we could all just like literally look at it, okay, well, we want this, 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 but yet we're losing this, 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 and this. Well, what do? Well, the worst thing to do is divide us. The worst thing to do is hate somebody. The best thing to do is look at them and be like, listen, I don't like what you do. I don't like what you stand for, but you know what? You're in the same position I am. You're losing your freedoms just like I'm losing my freedoms. So let's put our biasness aside and stand up to get the freedoms back. But this is what culture and religion does. It keeps us away from it. It distracts us away from it. It pulls us away from being acceptance to other people. It's amazing how it's been done for thousands of years, and it's warped everybody's mind. And it's a form of evolution, and people don't understand. They think evolution, like I said in my video earlier today, they think evolution, is a couple hundred years, couple thousand years for something to evolve. They don't understand evolution happens within a generation, because the evolution starts up here. When that mind gets that hold of that, the mind is what makes everything evolve. The mind does, people. So if we're distracted and we're hating and we're full of hate and we're full of rage, then that's what the next generation that we have will be full of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, prime example, you can do the research. Like I said in the video, spiders. When you see spiders, there's always two of them. So when you kill that spider, the other one sees it. The other one knows to be afraid of you. So when it has offspring, that offspring will have a natural instinct to hide from you.
That's right. That's
So
right.
that's evolution, people. That is true evolution. Evolution isn't a physical thing that starts. It is first a mental game. It is the conscious mind that starts all evolution. And when we
Mm-hmm.
start to realize it's the conscious mind that controls evolution, and we learn to control the conscious mind, we can control the evolution of the people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at, as we talk about all the time, we talk together. Look at these orcas. These orcas are evolving just through consciousness. They know that they can sink all these boats with no trouble because they know humans are on them, and they know how easy and frail we really are. They've learned this, people, and they understand this. This is why if you go look in the bay right now, they're it's like up to 30 boats that they've sank already. And these aren't small boats. I mean, these things take on 30, 40-foot whales. What do you think a boat is to them? A boat ain't nothing. A boat really can't escape them.
Mm-hmm. It's a very
Let's
amazing
see.
thing.
If people are going to make what difference, what makes it we'll see. Here's the thing. The only way we can make a difference, the only way, and I'm going to say it, the only way that we can make a difference is everybody needs to put their fucking morals out of the goddamn picture. Everybody needs to put their belief system out of the damn picture. Everybody needs to put every single thing that they were taught out of the goddamn picture. And they need to step back and they need to look and see that everything that they've been taught, everything that they've been shown has been put there to divide each and every one of us, no matter what. Like wars cause ethnicities to hate each other. Like, well,
Mm.
I'm an American, I go overseas, I'm one of the most hated people in the world, and I haven't done nothing to nobody, but I'm hated automatically because of somebody's perception, because somebody was taught something, because somebody was told this. Now I'm hated. That makes no
Well,
sense.
there are a massive number, let's just say, of idiosyncrasies and dysfunctions and miscalculations and misperceptions that people or avatars need to eliminate in their repertoire. And they need to clean out their internal cerebral filters and realign and reorganize and take another look and re engineer the electrochemical processing that's going on in their cerebellum and their frontal cortex and their medulla oblongata and temporal and occipital lobes in order to be able to get a more clear picture of the matrix and how they might function better and navigate this very complex system.
And you're right, it is a very complex system and it's very hard to navigate, especially when you don't have the right tools. Your GPS is going haywire, you ain't got a satellite to connect to, and that's where we're at. Everybody's switched off.
Well, people see that contrary to popular belief, a lot of people don't study this and they don't hear me when I say it. A lot of people live in their subconscious mind. They're completely controlled. 85% of of I'd say 95, 98% of the people that I've come in contact with live in their subconscious monkey mind. They live in their monkey mind. Your monkey mind is a reactive mind. It's the emotional mind. It's the insecure mind. It's the paranoid mind. It's the judgmental mind. It's the fear mind. It's the cowardice mind. It's the violent mind. It's the Buddhists call it the hell. They call it the hellish mind. It's the it's the part that makes us do things that are seemingly uncivilized and seemingly insane, or it creates the divisions among us. And if we all realize this is going on all of the time, this is called enlightenment. Whenever we all get it, like at the same time, and all of a sudden we wake up to that fact, all those things that I just said, you simply go, "Wow, that's what's wrong with me." Wait a minute. If I just get rid of a few of those things, I would be a lot more apt to be able to navigate this very complex thing that I'm going through here with my relationship or with my neighbors or with my friends or with my coworkers or customers. See, there's a lot of things that are precluding you from moving ahead in your life. There are a lot of things that are keeping you bogged down in these idiosyncrasies and dysfunctions. And if you really have to practice really hard to get rid of those things, many of you think that you're awake, and as Chad has said many times, you're full of shit. You're not awake. Many of you think you're smart. You're not smart. Many of you think you're educated. You're not educated. Many of you think you're mature, and you're so goddamn immature it stinks. And so that's just the way it is. You're living a lie. You're living a lie. And so you're lying to yourself. And when you're lying to yourself, then you're lying to other people. And when you're confused, you're going around confusing other people. It sheds to the weak, to those who don't have the strength to avoid it or to put a shield up, you know. And so that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And as I said earlier in the show, a lot of people don't want to hear what the highly educated, highly functional, mature individuals have come to the conclusion of in our analysis is that it it comes from a lack of education, it comes from a lack of maturity, it comes from a lack of experience, and it comes from your programming and your indoctrination and all of the propaganda that you have absorbed and all of the misinformation that you've taken in, and your brain has been clogged up like a dirty pipe system in a bathroom, and you've got all this shit in there that needs to come out. You need to get the old plumber and get the swatch, and the stopper thing, and just suck the shit out of your head. And then you'll start to see, and your eyes will start to open, and you'll start to see a whole new picture in front of you. Because you have to understand the reality that you think you see does not exist in front of you. Nothing exists. Nothing. When you close your eyes, nothing exists. Nothing. It's gone. The only thing that exists is when you are opening your eyes, the observer creates the manifestation. Okay. The observer brings uh, the field, the quantum field, into focus or manifestation. So a lot of people just don't understand how this works. A lot of you still live in this physical material delusion. You do not live in a physical material reality. You do not. You simply do not live in a physical material reality. You're only seeing fragments, very small Planck fragments of quanti of information coming into your field of vision and your auditory and kinesthetic systems. So, and your visual cortex is only able to receive just a very minor amount of light spectrum or quanti on the carrier of information. So, you only see just about 1/10 of 1% of reality, and the rest of it you will never see because it's the substrate, it's the DOS system in the computer. You don't see your DOS system. Now, I run DOS. I can run DOS. I can run DOS code. I can run S2 code. I can run Fortran code. I can run C3 code. But you don't see that, see, in your reality. You see a very small portion of reality, and yet you think you're a full and a whole person when in fact you're not. So if y'all will just get that and think about it, you'll really start to ask a lot of questions and go internally and do a lot of inner work, you know, because none of you have ever experienced truth. None of you have ever experienced reality. None of you have ever experienced the substrate of the matrix, the substrate of the manifestation that you see. So that's all I got to say. Chad, go ahead.
Well, yeah, it's like you told me that anybody that's on this earth has never experienced true consciousness because consciousness isn't in this world. So when you want to be a part of this world and everything else, guess what, people? You're not a part of the world. You're actually the hinder of it. And it makes sense when you look at it that way. Um, because if you ain't about nothing, you ain't going to accomplish nothing. If you don't understand these terminologies, you're only going to hinder yourself and any kind of advancements you want. Um, like me and Kiler, we're trying to get all this stuff up and running for the disaster team. We have to deal with people that we choose not even to want to deal with, but we have to deal with it. We have to put our thoughts, our personal opinions aside just for the greater good of everybody else. And this is what people need to do. This is what we preach. Like, we're not preaching something that we're not practicing. We're preaching things that we're actually doing, that, we're not hypocritical about this stuff. We're trying to let you know this is how it has to be, because we have to be this way too. You think we want to be like this? No, we would like to be able to not even think about it, to be able to say, oh, okay, well, as Kyler explained, back in the day, it was a lot easier for people to help you today. Today, you literally got to basically rob them to get any kind of help from them. It makes no
Back
sense.
back in the day, I could come up with an idea and have 30 or 40 volunteers lined up within 2 or 3 days to come and help me with my idea. Uh, 25 years ago, I could say, I want to be a framer. Fox and Jacobs is hiring some framers. Oh, I don't have a framing team. Well, let me just go make a few phone calls. I put a framing team together in 3 days. I was framing houses in 5 days. I was getting paid on the next sixth day. And I'd already framed 3 houses. I hired the Hells Angels. I hired the Hells Angels, the best framers in the world at that time. Now, I'll admit they will kill you if you didn't give them their paycheck on Friday, but that was a little scary. But they did kidnap me one time because I couldn't make payroll on Friday. I was kidnapped and taken back to my home, and they threatened to do some very, very nasty things to me. And I had to call one of my banker friends, and I had to go out and see him with the Hells Angels following me in my truck. And I had to go out to the bank, and he wrote me a check. And that was an interesting experience. But anyway, like I said, like I said, you are kind of what you think you are, and you're going to manifest what you or what your perceptions and experiences, and you're a product of all of these different variables in your environment, and that's why the other night on the show y'all got confused, some of you, when I said you don't have a self. None of you possess a self. None of you possess a persona or a me or an I. None of that's true. None of that is true. You are a multiplex of components, multivariable components, and of angular momentum and mass and volume and synchronicity and trajectory and angular momentum and all of these other very complex variables in physics. And so the atomic spectrum and the photonic spectrum and the light spectrum and the radiological spectrum and the radio spectrum and the electromagnetic spectrum, and you have all of these things going on all at the same time. You have a quadrillion calculations going on during this show. You have a quadrillion uh, calculations going on. People just don't understand how to deal with that. So anyway, that's what this show's about. Basically, is to kind of wake some of you up to some of these things that might help you a little bit in reformulating, realigning, reorganizing the way you handle your interactions with other avatars in the system.
Yeah, and the easiest way, people, and this is for me, because I was stuck in all this deep seated neurosis like everybody else was at one point in time. But the easiest way that I can say to try to help you guys out, to try to see things, is don't listen to your fucking mind. Don't listen to your mind, because your mind's been tampered with. Listen to the feeling that comes out of your chest, the emotion that you get, the grab that you get. That's what you want. Because if you see somebody and
No,
you're like,
Kim.
oh, well, I want to help them. I feel the urge to help them. Help them.
No,
No,
Kim. Nobody's allowed to change your comments in the comment section. No one is allowed to do that. No one.
no,
Not even
I
me.
can't even do it.
Not even me. No.
But
I would
yeah,
like
what you
to
got to
know
do? Go
why that
ahead.
is. I
Go
would
ahead.
like to know. I would like to know why Kim thought her wording was changed. If she'll just type that in a minute, because I would like to know what happened. But no, no one can do that, Kim. At least not yet. Now, next they might they might throw that kind of shit on us at some point in time. Now that we have all this technology, crazy technology going on, they might have you saying shit that's just crazy by the 3 months from now. They might be able to change every comment in here. And Chad and I will be so confused we wouldn't even be able to do a show. We'd have to turn the chat off.
But yeah, we're going to end up changing that too, people. We are changing everything with how we operate now. We have to. Just to let people know, we are in survival mode when it comes to electronics right now, or the internet, or whatever you want to call it. We're all facing attacks, and Kyler can vouch for this, and my friends that know this. They full blown went after me. They've deleted my Facebook account just recently on the 9th. They hit my Twitch account that I never use. They're making it to where, I don't want to do this stuff anymore because they're afraid of people like Kyler joining up with people like me, or people like me joining up with people like Kyler, however you want to word it. But they're afraid of that because they know that our indoctrination level is very low inside of us. We didn't take the indoctrination, and we're a thorn in their side. Well, what do you do with a thorn in your side? You remove it. Well, that's what they're trying to do with us.
Plus, the algorithms can predict what Chad and I are going to do over the next few weeks, few months. So they know where we're at before we get there. It's pre-crime analysis. It's pre-crime analysis. Uh, I call it pre-crime analysis. You understand what I'm saying? The algorithms are so smart now. The AI is so smart now. It can basically predict what Chad and Rhonda and myself and Mary are going to do within the next 6 months, and we can't even predict that ourselves. But the computer can look at a million or 10 million or 15 or 25 million variables within 8 to 10 seconds of all of our 4 of our lives and tell exactly what we're going to do. Now that'll blow your mind. That's a mind blower. But
Yeah,
that's
it blows mine just thinking about it.
yeah.
Some of the things that I do, it's like, is this my own action? I mean, I'm confident myself. I control my own actions, but there's still times that I question my actions. And anybody that's in their sane mind right now that understands what's going on, that's something you have to do. You have to question the actions you're taking.
Well, now there is a higher level that we could go to, but I don't really want to, but I will for a second. Uh, when you get to the very 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 deep levels of this thing, you know that you're not controlling anything. You know that you have no free will and no free choice whatsoever. I mean that I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound really egotistical, but or may I don't know, it may sound dumb. Uh, if you use your common sense, if you use your third eye, if you use your inner ability to see these kinds of things, you would realize that in the substrate has already made all these decisions. The substrate, the DOS program, the platform, the base platform has already made all of these decisions. Everything has already been played out. We're just imagining that we're doing all of these things. And so it seems like free will and it seems like free choice, but we know now through our most advanced calculations in physics that we have no control over anything. Nothing. Everything, of course. But now this is something we don't like to think about because it could drive someone like Chad and I, who have all of this advanced esoteric knowledge and this ontological knowledge and all the secret societies and all of the things that we've learned and we've you know studied and researched. It could drive us both. We'd be in a lockup somewhere. We wouldn't even be able to function. It can literally make your hair stand straight up on your head, and you can just have smoke coming out of your ears when you realize that you don't have any control over what you're going to do next. But I don't even like to talk about this sometimes on air, and neither do yogis and sages and some of my shaman friends. We'll talk about it in private. But people have gone over the edge thinking about this. It's called EST. The secret code is EST. And when you reach these higher levels of consciousness and you realize that nothing you do is of your own choice, that'll drive you over the edge.
I 100% agree with that.
But you know, it's hard to grasp. It's really hard to grasp. It's really hard to swallow. It's really hard to deal with when you realize that you don't have a mind of your own. Uh, but that is a very, very high level of physics that we've come to those types of observations, and we know beyond the shadow of a doubt that we're all running this external manifested program. We're simply a manifestation of the base program. Just like you're the manifestation of your video game, the video game players have no control over who they're going to shoot or what tools they're going to pick up or what money they're going to be paid or what supply drops are going to come in. Well, neither do you. So we're just a simulation within a simulation within a simulation. So you understand.
That see people what Kyler's the easiest way to explain it is um you're just a computer program and you're doing exactly what you were designed to do. Whether you like it
Exactly.
or not, you can't void from it, you can't deflect from it. The only way to be able to do any of that is you have to rewrite the programs. And for people to rewrite the program will drive you insane because I don't
Very
even
difficult.
think it's really possible to rewrite the program that's been instilled in you. I really don't personally. I mean, I know you can make some modifications to it, but the overall point of the algorithm, I don't think you can actually get away from it.
You're right, Chad. There are some possibilities within the possibilities. There are some possibilities to rechannel, to realign, to restructure, to modify. But as you said, that's a very, very, very complex process. And it's one that we probably don't need to get too deep into right now, or we'll just smoke will start coming out of your ears and something will burn up in my house. But we'll talk about that at some point in time. We'll do a show on that, and I'll get into the very advanced levels of hemisync. We haven't done the show on hemisync yet. We need to. We'll do that.
Yeah. That's
We'll
a
do
show
that.
I've never done one on either, which is
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Well, this is very, 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 very advanced mind control CIA work that's been going on for before the CIA was the CIA. And so we'll learn all about these micro components of consciousness that hang around. And we'll learn all about these different bits of informations and ones and zeros and quantum gates. And we'll learn about these multivariabilistic qualities within the calculative matrix and how they come together to form an elusive reality, which is only 1/10 of 1% of the actual um, matrix that you're seeing, that you're visualizing, that you're manifesting. Very, very complex stuff. It has physicists, some of the smartest in the world, scratching their head. I mean, it's really hard to grasp. It's really, really hard. Did I like what? Andre, the gummy bear that I just took earlier. Yeah, I did. That was what
Yeah,
you're talking
those
about.
those are good. And okay, I want to send out a plug to people that actually do have problems, health issues, and Kyler can vouch for this. If you get the spectrum, not the full spectrum, but spectrum CBD, it helps people. It helps. It takes away the edge. It takes away the pain. It stops the upset stomach. They even have it for diabetics to where they can have it to where it's hardly any sugar, if any sugar. Kyler got the ones. You can ask him. There ain't nothing in it, no chemicals whatsoever except gelatin and CBD. That's it, with a little bit of flavoring that has no sugar, no nothing in it, and it's natural flavorings. It's like one of the most organic ways to have a CBD gummy. But people, you need to start getting away from a lot of these medications that are prescribed to you because these medications are also hindering your thought process. They really are because it's all about dopamine hits. Yeah, there they are. And babe, what was the name of the store that we went to? So we can send them out a plug. Can you type it in the chats? So if you're ever in our area, you hear this store, we recommend them. They are great people. They'll help you out in every way possible. You know. So,
I'm just reading some breaking news here. It says Canadian wildfires worsening into the summer. U.S. threat will remain all summer. Officials are warning there could also be a major breakdown in the grid system and/or the internet with all electronics. Officials claim wildfires in Canada are going to burn more intensely through the summer and will spew smoke over the lower 48 states. Some of the areas most severely affected, especially for children and the aged, are as smoke in the U.S., where New York City and Philadelphia are going to be hit the hardest. People are going to maybe have to evacuate as flames spread. Airstreams, jet stream may further carry smoke southward into the U.S., affecting the East Coast and the Midwest as well as the West Coast. We're all in trouble, folks. I mean, it's coming and it's coming hard and it's coming fast. Look at that bang fire there if you want to see something really hellish. That's hell, ladies and gentlemen. That's hell. You're looking at hell on earth there. You're looking at hell in the simulation. They're burning the fuck out of everything. They're destroying every fucking thing on the goddamn planet. So it's really bad. I mean, I can't tell you guys how bad it really is. I don't want to. I don't want you to commit suicide or anything. I'm
but
telling you right now, it's 10,000 times worse than anything Chad and I could voice here.
and listen for the people, because I've had a couple people that's messages not too long ago. The green store, the green jean store. There we go. Yeah, get your gummies at the green jean store. But anyways, like a lot of people tell me, well, I don't even know why you do this. It ain't affecting your life. It ain't affecting your family with this stuff going on. Oh yeah. Well, people, let me explain something. I was on the East Coast. My family right now is getting smoked out by these sons of bitches. Okay, you want to talk about something affecting somebody's life? Kyler knows all about it. Kyler will tell you that you can't even see on the East Coast right now. Um, and it's raging through my family, people. So, yeah, don't think that I'm immune from any of this that's going on because I'm not. It's a physical toll on
Anything
me as well.
anything that affects Chad's family affects us here. You all need to understand that we all affect each other. We're all connected together. And I'm not this is not just metaphysical. This is hard science. We are all connected together whether you like it or not. Black, white, green, orange, homosexual, it doesn't matter what the fuck you are, what religion you are, what perversion or what suasion or what grift or gift. We're all connected, like it or not. And anything that affects me affects you, and vice versa. So I want you all to understand that. And that's why we need to really try and love each other, as corny as that sounds sometimes these days. That we really do need to really have. And I'm not talking about this shallow, silly love, this girly kind of fucking junior high kind of shit. I'm talking about real agape, real unconditional love. And I know that word hate. People hate. Some people send me dirty emails, but I'm unconditional love. I mean, it's not even love. It's beyond the word love is really something we need to just erase. We've ruined the word. We've just ruined the word. We've just, it's something far, far beyond that. It's a depth of understanding that is so ultra intuitive, is what it is.
Well,
That's
look,
what it
people,
is.
look. Kyler already said in the video about what happened yesterday, our deep conversation that we had. Him testing me like he was. If I would have stuck with love, like people use love today, I wouldn't be speaking to Kyler right now. I wouldn't be on a video with Kyler. I wouldn't be socializing with Kyler, because love is the first step to compassion. Okay. Compassion is where it's at. If you you can have love, but you can also have love without compassion.
Well, you brought up something really great, Chad. You didn't even realize it, but you just hit on the gold nugget. The kind of love that people are throwing around today is what causes homicides within families and domestic abuse and child abuse and robberies and all kinds of extortion. Now that sounds crazy to people. They go, "What? How could love do that?" Well, think about it, honey. I love you to death. Oh, you fucking bitch. I love you. I'm gonna stab you in your sleep tonight, but I love you. And by the way, I love you so much that you went out with that. Saw you talking to that girl at 7-Eleven yesterday, you motherfucker, and having coffee. I don't know what you were doing, but when you get home tonight, I'm gonna shoot your brains out. That's the kind of love we need to get rid of, folks. That's the kind of love that needs to go. I love you as long as you go do what the fuck I tell you to do, bitch.
I
I
mean,
love
that's
you.
just
You
how
know,
it is anymore.
that's not
It's
what
a
we
word.
see. It's we need an ultra. Like I said, we need an ultra expansive awareness is what we need.
We need to create our own word that we use. We need to create our own word that people that know will know what it means. You
Yeah.
know, like I tell people, I love pizza and I love animals. Well, if I had a choice to get rid of one or the other, I'm getting rid of the
Yeah.
pizza, even though I love the
Hmm?
pizza. Love
I
is
love you.
just in layers. Okay. Love is just in layers. It's a word that was given to us just to try to manipulate people. That's
Hmm.
what this word was actually given to us
It's
for.
another belief system. It's another false belief system. It's another religion. It's a cult. The love cult.
It's the love boat.
Yeah. But I think we hit on something here tonight that's probably the most important thing we could have ever hit on is this fact that we need to get rid of this word love. It's a ridiculous word. Uh it's a ridiculous word. Look at all of the Christians that love, you know, Christians, but they hate Muslims or they hate blacks. Look at all the white people that love each other and but hate fucking niggers. You know, and they call them niggers, and oh look at that nigger. The niggers are moving into the neighborhood. I mean that's not love. Is that love? Oh, we all love each other in this side of town, but we hate them goddamn black people. That's love. That's the kind of love we need to get rid of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that.
You
It's just
know,
insanity.
but it does make sense, doesn't it? Or am I wrong? Does it make sense?
Oh, it makes sense because I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah, I hate everyone equally too, Rhonda. That's cute. You fucking bitch. I know what, Rhonda. Don't you say motherfucker. Don't you say motherfucker.
All right, I guess that
She's
when
saying it
I
right
get
now. She's
home,
saying it right now. She's saying it right now. That's
I
her
guess when
favorite
I get
word.
home, if she hates me, she hates everybody equal. I guess I might as well just look for a new girl then.
Oh well, I can arrange that. The titty bar is just across the street from you and down 3 blocks, by the way. 3 blocks and right down the street. Oh yeah. I know a few bartenders in there and they are hot. Let me tell you, baby. Hot, 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 hot. I'll take you by there one night. We'll just have
Don't
a
worry,
drink.
babe. I ain't going nowhere. I
We're
ain't
just
going
gonna
nowhere.
go. We're just gonna go to the bar to meet a couple of my friends, and they happen
Oh
to
yeah,
work
I
at a
know
tit
that.
bar. Tit bar.
Oh
It's no
gee,
big deal.
thanks, babe. You're just like, okay, bye. See you later.
Oh, she's just gonna be a little schoolgirl about it. But no, we'll go in there at the tit bar, and that'll be your test, Rhonda. So that you were testing you, Rhonda. See, I tested Chad. Chad tested me. We test Marion. Now we're gonna test you. Chad and I are going to the titty bar next Wednesday. They're having yeah, that's right, happy hour. Or Thursday, Friday, whenever he's off, we'll just drop by there and see a couple of my girls, and then that's it. So get over it, motherfucker. So there we go. So
But
what's
yeah,
everybody getting all bent out of shape about anyway?
see, and that's another thing. This love. If you really cared about someone like me, my whoever I'm with, if they want to go do something, you know what I mean, they can go do it. I'm not going to tell them no. I'm not going to try to stop them. You want to go do it. You want to go do it because love will make you stop somebody. True compassion and caring and understanding, as I've learned, won't let you stop that person. You'll be like, yeah, go
Well,
have fun, because if
when
they really do care about you, they'll come back.
when I lived at the ranch, and we had all the outbuildings, I had my harem. Remember, Marion and I had our harem. I had beautiful, beautiful women living there from, well, I had beautiful, beautiful. Some of the most sexy women on the planet lived there in my outbuildings. And I had a harem around me every night. It was just like guru. I was a guru, sage, yogi. I had this harem around me. I looked like Jesus, Mount of Olives or something going on there. And Miriam was just as happy as a lark. I mean, she'd cook for us, and we'd all cook and eat together. And I was out doing my little dingy dangy and pingy pingy and wingy wingy. I bet Rhonda couldn't handle that kind of shit.
I'm not that
It's
kind of
it's
man.
really hard. It's hard.
Yeah,
Yes, you
I'm
are.
not that
Yes,
kind of
you are.
man.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All men are that kind of man. Yes, you're just using fear right now. You're in fear because you don't know her well enough to get
I
into
can
that
honestly
level.
say
That's a
this.
higher level of consciousness.
I'm
That's a
not
higher
there.
level of
Yep.
consciousness. You'll get there. You'll get there. She'll get there. That's what y'all need to work for because that's when you know that your relationship is perfect. Is when you have no relationship at all. That's when you know it's perfect.
Can I trade a 5 for 5 ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Um, oh yeah, Ron. It is you. You just don't realize it. You haven't realized it yet. The That will keep you pinned down to the chair. That kind of thinking will keep you pinned down intellectually and metaphorically and ontologically and esoterically. Um, that will that will pin you down into a very deep pit of unawareness and dysfunction and drama and jealousy and sickness, and it'll cause all kinds of disease and illness. Once you get rid of that thought, see, we're just talking about it and you're visualizing it as being real. So you're already, you gotta quit that. You gotta just get out of it. Boom, it's gone. Cheating. What does that word mean? Well, let's talk about that one out on the show. Now you got me going on another show. Cheating. What is cheating? There's no such thing as cheating. That's for kids. You're in third grade, fourth grade. That's fourth grade talk. Sixth grade. No, it's maybe fifth. No. Fifth, sixth, 14, 12 years old. Cheating. You're cheating on me. Oh, you're cheating on me. Yeah. You looked at that girl at Walmart. No, that's just retarded. That's immature. Get to put your big girl panties on, okay? Everybody put their big girl panties on. But yeah, Chad's a man. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. And he's gonna say that kind of shit. I'm gonna jump on him. I'm gonna cut him. I'm gonna cut him. I'm gonna tell him what it's like. I mean, yeah, a man's a man. A man's gotta be a man. And a woman's gotta be a woman. Boo boo. Are you my boo? Are you my boo? Rhonda, are you my boo? Oh, Kim's in chronic pain. Kim is chronic pain is terrible. I've been in chronic pain before. I've been in acute pain too, and I'll tell you, it's not a good thing. I don't like to be in pain, and I have been in some hellacious fucking pain. When I had my cancer, both of my cancers, oh boy, I've had some pain. Let me tell you. And when I had my withdrawals from my benzodiazepines, I had some pain. And we're talking months and months and months and months and months of hellish pain. And it was really bad. It was really fucking bad. And so, yeah, I understand, and we have empathy. I have empathy for you, and I have compassion for you, and I understand what you're going through, and I'm very, 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 very much with you on that. And I'll be sending the same kind of energy to you that I'm sending to Chad's father, uh, as I have been sending to Chad's father. But yeah, anyway, uh, yeah, it's been a great show, and we could go 3 hours, by the way, if we wanted to, but we're not because I'm tired and I've got some work to do. But yeah, it's been a heavy show. It's been a good show, and it's been a very awakening show. And I think we've hit on some really heavy milestones tonight. I think we've really hit on some really important topics. Love being one of them, jealousy being another, immaturity being another, drama being another, men being pussies, another, where they're afraid to tell the truth around their women. Like when me and Chad go out, Chad looks at pussy. I mean, I look at pussy when we're together, and
Oh, I
we're
admit I
gonna look
look
at
at it.
pussy, and you're lusting. We think things in our mind, and women do the same thing. And we've had these shows. I've done 5,078 shows tonight, but we've
No,
done
no, no, no,
uh,
no. 5,081.
81. Oh, you're right. You got to keep count. You're the analytics guy. But no, everybody lusts in their heart. Everybody has pleasurable thoughts. Everybody has this wondrous. When we see sexy, I mean, come on, two guys like me and Chad, these two studs. Well, one weenie beanie and one stud. But we go out and we see two sexy women, like down at the lake here. There's naked women. All I mean, Marion went with me today, and we were looking at all these sexy women in bikinis, and it was just like, oh my god, I was having a heart attack. And but I was telling Chad about it, and he was like, "Whoa, wow, that's amazing." I mean, these girls are wearing nothing. They're wearing just little strings. That's all they had on, and they all look like they're from Malibu Beach, man. They're beautiful. I mean, what would you? A guy would have to be just a faggot. He would have to suck the chrome off a trailer hitch, not to be looking at something like that and getting a hard on. So yeah, Chad's getting a big hard on just thinking about it right now. So anyway, that's just the way it is. So I hope you've learned something tonight on the show, Rhonda. That's what this show's all about: is to grow people up and make people more aware of awareness and think about thinking and become more conscious of consciousness and bring people into higher levels of maturity and you know bring people into this wonderful uh, place where they get rid of all the junk. And when you eliminate all the junk and you clear out the old attic, everything becomes perfect. Perfect. Just perfect. You experience ultimate perfection at that point. And jealousy is one of the most deadly diseases in the world, besides hate. Chad brought hate up. Jealousy leads to hate, and hate leads to murder and cancer and fibromyalgia and lung disease and all kinds of neurological problems. And so like I said about that butterfly, you have to let it go. You, sweetheart, all connected. I'm extremely worried about my family in Canada. Yeah, Canada. We're worried about Canada too because Canada is definitely on fire, and I mean on fire. And I don't mean on fire. I mean on fire, on fire, on fire, on fire. It's the worst fucking fire in Canadian history.
Fire and brimstone, the easiest way to sum it up.
Yeah, and I'm sure that massive amounts of people are just dying there, and we don't even know it in the mainstream media because of Trudeau. He's blacked everything out. He's just literally taken the media and just chopped it in half. So it's terrible. But we're going to leave y'all with that tonight, and we will see you. And I hope y'all have really gotten something great out of this show. I always like to leave people sitting on the edge of their fucking chair, pee-peeing on themselves. And if we haven't done that, then we haven't really done anything at all. You know what I mean? And I'm going to give myself my shot here real quick, and I'm going to go bang. Oh! Oh! Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I always like to do that on air. One of my trademarks that I do on air is I give myself that diabetic shot, and everybody likes to see that. They like to see me in pain.
Well, yeah, because we put them through all kinds of mental pain thinking about the shit we talk about.
Well, we have to push people over the edge, or it's just not a show. We didn't do
No.
anything. We just farting in the wind. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just farting in the wind.
And
But
before
anyway,
we go,
yeah,
I want to let people know that we are going to start shifting from the geopolitical. We're going to start fading away from that because there's nothing else we can really add to that because we've
right.
covered every single centimeter of the geopolitical. So we're going to be pushing more into the mind, body, spirit, source, how to help out, how to help yourself. That's what we're going to be pushing into. So if you're looking for the geopolitical, we're still going to do it, but it's not really going to be on the Lone Wolf Show.
Well, because it's such a dog and pony show too, and it's theater, and Chad and I are sick of it. We're sick of it because, like the Canadian Prepper says, and like Tucker Carlson has said, it's getting beyond crazy. It's getting to the point where you can't even. It's not even geopolitical analysis anymore. It's just analysis paralysis. It's insanity. You don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. Not even the sociologists. Not even the doctorates. Nobody knows what's going on. It changes every, what do you say, 20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 to 30 minutes. It's
And
changed.
there's 150 to 200,000 variables going on at any one second, and it just changes. So there's no, what are we going to do? Come on and tell you this, tell you that, tell you this, tell you that, tell you this, tell you that, tell you this, tell you what? And then what kind of show is that? Nothing. What we're trying to get to here is some kind of an idea that's going to stick in the head and going to help everybody raise their level of consciousness and their level of awareness, their level of thinking, their level of maturity, have better relationships, closer relationships, more transparency, all those kinds of things. And healing, inner work, meditation, all these kinds of things, walking a better path, eating better, having better nutrition, how to navigate the matrix, prepping, growing a garden, all these kinds of things. That's what we're going to be talking about. Things that count now, things that you can get a return on investment now. If we're talking about George Bush, or if we're talking about Biden and versus Trump versus this versus that, it's not going to do y'all any good. We're only going to give you something that you're going to be able to take to the bank, to the soul bank. That's it, soul bank. So you guys and girls take care. And Chad and I will see you here, same time, same channel, tomorrow night on Tuesday. And all you girls out there, put your big girl panties on. Y'all take care.